Hello everybody, I'm Chris Provost from Provost Park Best, and we have some breaking news for the state of California. This is going to impact Disney and all the other theme parks. Woo! And but before we get to that, let me just say this. Go ahead and hit that little subscribe button and hit that bell notification. That way, you will always be notified first of what's going on in the world of Disney and theme parks. Okay, this video is going to be broken down into three parts. Part one is just the facts of what's going on. Part two is about how this is going to affect the theme parks in California. And then part three is going to be a little bit about speculation, why we think this is happening. That way, if you don't want to speculate, you want the actual facts, you can just go ahead and jump off. I'll tell you when we're in each part of those videos. All right, part number one. The California stay-at-home order is going to be lifted. It was just announced by Governor Newsom that he's lifting the stay-at-home order. That means restaurants with outdoor dining, like barbershops, hair salons, bars, that they can, with outdoor seating, they can be reopening. This is a big news. This means that, California has been in such a tight lockdown that they're moving in the right direction, saying, hey, you're now going to be able to reopen up. This is a big deal. The governor's senior staff officials, they sent a little letter. They kind of leaked the information to the California Restaurant Association, known as the CRA, on Sunday. And they said, hey, be expecting some good news about reopening outdoor dining on Monday from the governor. And this goes to show that maybe the governor is starting to understand how the restaurant business is working because, for example, if you tell a barber you can't work and then you say, okay, now you can work, the barber has all the knowledge in their head and they have all the tools in the shop. So they pretty much basically can start opening up and operating on the very day that you tell them. Restaurants don't work that way. When you tell a restaurant that you can start serving food again, they got to do a lot of things to prepare for that. One, they got to get their staff back. Two, they got to get the chefs back. Three, they have to get the food and buy all this food and bring it back because they can't hold the food for months and months because it would go bad. So they got to get a whole bunch of food. So they gave a heads up to the California Restaurant Association saying, hey, this means get prepared for this. So big deal, big deal. This was just announced. This means that restaurants could be opening up for outdoor dining by the end of this week. Woohoo! This is an exciting time. It means as California is emerging from this huge stay-at-home order that's moving in the right direction. Now, let's talk about here some of the things that's going on with the state of California and how it works. When the governor first started taking this pandemic initiative, he did it by a colored tier group. There's 4 tier groups. There's purple, red, orange, and yellow. And he said that the theme parks could only reopen when they're in tier number 4, the yellow tier, and even then they could only open up at 25% capacity. He's been very adamant about this, and he's been like, hey, that's what we're doing. Then all of a sudden, around November, at the end of November, the holidays, he threw out the color scheme thing and came up with this new thing called, divided the state into 5 regions, and said that when each of these regions, if they hit 85% capacity in the intensive care unit, then that whole region is shutting down. And he announced this like a day before all of them hit this 85% capacity. And so all the state is all basically shut down. And the terms that he's been using was called data and science. And he says he's basing all his decisions off of data and science. But people have been kind of criticizing him a little bit about that because they're like, where is this data and where's the science coming from? We want to see it. We want to analyze ourselves. And it's never been provided from the governor's office. But they shut everything down because they're hitting 85% or higher in capacity intensive care units. Some people were arguing against that, saying, hey, intensive care units, it's not just for COVID patients, it's for all patients. So it's not a fair metric. It didn't matter. So the state shut down. Now, the state is reopening back up, allowing outdoor dining, allowing restaurants, barbers and hair salons to reopen back up. But the state is still their intensive care unit is still at 85% higher capacity. So some people are like, well, why are all of a sudden are you allowing us to do that? What is going on? We don't really know, but the governor has made that decision to allow these restaurants to be reopening. Part 2 of the video. How this is going to affect theme parks. All right, let's get to part 2 of this video. This is going to affect Knott's Berry Farm heavily because they've been doing their, the Taste of Calico, the Knott's Berry Farm tasting, all these different tasting events because those are considered outdoor restaurants. You're eating outside. So it looks like Knott's will be able to engage and start doing that again, which is fun. I would recommend going to it. It's so much fun. Disneyland and Downtown Disney. It looks like their Downtown Disney restaurants will be able to reopen now and start serving food again, which was a big draw. And when they kind of got gutted, so you can't do that, a lot of people were like, I don't know if I want to go as much. Also, Buena Vista Street, located in Disney California Adventure, those restaurants there will be able to start serving food as long as it's outdoor dining. So this means that we're moving in a positive direction for theme parks. Way to go. Way to go with theme parks. You're moving in the right direction. So it looks like that even by the end of this week that some of those restaurants could start be opening up. And we don't have an official date because this was literally just announced by the governor just a few moments ago. So we don't have a date when the Downtown Disney restaurants or if Knott's Berry Farms, when they'll be reopening. I'm sure they will. And once we know those dates, we will tell you those dates. So that way you can go and have some scrumdiddly-umptious food. All right. Now, for those of you who like facts and are fact-based and logical thinking like that, you could go ahead and just jump off this video. Now we're going to speculate. Number 3, why is this happening? So now we're in speculation mode right here, guys. Speculate, speculate, speculate. So be aware, this is not fact-based, but a lot of speculation is going on. People they're wondering, well, why all of a sudden has the governor elicited the stay-at-home order? What is going on? What is his motivation to allow this to happen in the state of California? There are really 2 prominent theories that are going around right now that people believe. And I don't really know if I believe either one of them, but these are what they are. Number 1, some people believe that the governor is now doing this because we have a Democratic president in the state, as a Democratic president, and so the governor's like, hey, let's reopen up businesses, and we have a Democrat in there, and I'm a Democrat, so we want businesses to open and flourish and thrive. I personally hope that's not the true reason, because that means that the governor literally didn't care about people's livelihood based on politics. So I don't know if I believe in that or not, but I'm letting you know that's what a lot of people are thinking. The number two reason people think that governor is reissuing, kind of backtracking off of this ICU 85% capacity is because of what's called the Recall Newsom movement that's going on in the state of California. The state of California has this thing, if they get 1.5 million signatures on this motion, then it will go to a vote, and they can vote to recall Governor Gavin Newsom for the state of California. And people are like, it's never going to happen. But they have until the middle of March to have enough signatures. And right now, and we're in January, by the way, they have 1.2 million signatures. They're going to probably hit this recall motion. I think they're going to hit this. And so maybe the governor realizes, oh my gosh, people are so upset. I have to do something to make people so they're not quite so upset with me anymore. And so now he's lifting this stay-at-home ban and trying to have more economy coming in, the dollar's flowing through the state. So that way the recall motion will kind of maybe slow down and ease off so that they don't hit those numbers. Because once the middle of March hits, I think it's March 15th or 17th, I can't remember which day. Once that day hits, and if they don't have enough, then it's done. They have to restart the whole motion. It's really intensive. So I think that maybe they're trying to slow that down and see what's going on. I don't know why this is happening with the state of California. I am happy for the state of California. Good job, state of California. You're moving in the right direction. This is big, big news. Would you go to any of those restaurants in downtown Disney, or would you go back to Knott's Berry Farm for the taste of Knott's Berry Farm, the taste of Calico? Now that they're going to be have the opportunity to reopen up, would you go do that? Put that down in the comments down below. Also, I'm going to say this. I might regret this, but let's go ahead and do this. Speculate why you think the governor has changed and done a 180 and about face. You can put that down in the comments down below. All I ask is be polite. Let's not do name calling. Just be polite about why you think the governor all of a sudden has done a 180 and what's really going on in the state of California. I mean, maybe it's because they have the distribution of having all the vaccine come in, and they think that's going to curb the numbers enough. That could be another reason. I haven't seen that. That just came off the top of my head right now. But you never know. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little bell notification. That way, whenever there's any breaking news about theme parks in the state of California, you will be the first to know.